Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, today we will start with general embryology. Blood supply of hind limb is remaining that I will cover after discussing this chapter of general embryology, or it may be discussed after you arrive over here. So, embryology we will start from today itself. Anyone can tell me about the definition of embryology? Embryology, what is embryology? कोई भी बताए भाई
Ma'am,
एम्ब्रियोलॉजी कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे?
embryology is the branch of biology in which deals with the study of the embryonic development.
Embryonic development, right. So basically embryology term is misnomer because we say the period of embryo then period of fetus, ठीक है ना? Period of embryo is the period until organogenesis has started. ठीक है ना? Before organogenesis, the developmental stage is called embryo, and then after it, when organogenesis has started, then it is termed as fetus. So as such we see that this term is not appropriate term, but the definition of embryology is just as you said, that it is the study of development of any individual species before birth, or right, means since fertilization till birth, whatever the developmental stages, developmental process is there, that is the embryology. Okay na? So there are two terms. One term is embryology and another term is developmental anatomy. Embryology, you said, right, that it is the development of embryo, or we can say it is the developmental stages since fertilization to the birth, right? Now, when we see the developmental anatomy, so developmental anatomy includes both prenatal development and postnatal development. Prenatal का मतलब क्या है? Before birth, and postnatal after birth, right, till maturity. So developmental anatomy is, we can say that it is now a popular term, developmental anatomy, because it includes both prenatal and postnatal development. Prenatal means before birth and postnatal means after birth till the individual organism become mature, right? Now there are many terms which are used when we study this embryology. One term you may heard about it, that is ontogeny. Ontogeny सुना है आप लोगों ने? Ontogeny term सुना है?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, यदराम बस बोल रहा है, बाकी कोई बोल ही नहीं रहा है. पढ़ा होगा ना ontogeny?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
क्या पढ़ा ontogeny? पीयूष बताओ.
Ma'am,
म्यूट क्यों हो गया भाई? हाँ पीयूष बोलो.
मैम डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनिज्म मतलब ओरिजिनेशन कैसे हो रहा है उसका?
डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनिज्म.
मैम जैसे उसका मैम ओरिजिनेशन कैसे हो रहा है, एम्ब्रियो फॉर्मेशन होके आगे डेवलपमेंट कैसे हो रहा है, उससे ऑन्टोजेनी कहते हैं.
हाँ हाँ. Actually, ontogeny is the complete development of an individual. ठीक है ना? It is a complete development of an individual, or we can say complete life, complete expression of gene. Means ontogeny includes that whole development of an individual, and we can say it is the blueprint of genetic material of an individual. ठीक है ना? So there is one term that ontogeny repeats phylogeny. So it means phylogeny जैसे हमने देखा fish, amphibian, ठीक है ना? इस टाइप से हमने देखा हुआ fish, amphibian, reptiles, then mammals. So this is the phylogeny of development. If we say that ontogeny repeats phylogeny, then we can satisfy this statement by the development of kidney, because the development of kidney is the classical example that ontogeny repeats phylogeny, because pronephros, mesonephros and metanephros type of kidney is evolutionary. ठीक है ना? It is evolutionary, and this type of kidney is present during the all developmental stages of embryonic life. ठीक है ना? Initially there is pronephros kidney, then there is mesonephros kidney, and then after finally there is formation of metanephric kidney, which remain functional throughout the life. So ontogeny repeats phylogeny. This term is correct, and the classical example of it is the development of kidney. ठीक है? Then embryology, there are many branches of embryology like functional embryology, morphological embryology, experimental embryology. ठीक है ना? So morphological embryology is the branch which deals with study of developmental stages on the basis of morphological changes. ठीक है ना? Study of developmental stages on the basis of morphological changes. That is why it is called morphological embryology. Then there is experimental embryology. Experimental embryology तो बहुत एक मतलब टर्म जो है वो काफी हिस्ट्री से यूज होता आया है, and it is very applied part, because in science whatever the experiment for any alteration in gene, any incorporation of gene, any changes in you want in genome of that particular individual, so there is changes in the zygote. At the level of zygote you can incorporate, you can delete, you can insert any particular type of gene. ठीक है ना? So experimental embryology deals with the any experiment, any insertion, any deletion of any gene or any type of cell. ठीक है? So that is called experimental embryology. You are doing experiment over the embryo. ठीक है? Then after morphological embryology, experimental embryology, then functional embryology. Functional embryology deals with the what the physiological changes takes place. ठीक है? Physiological changes and that ultimately affect the function. So what the physiological changes takes place during the developmental stages, that branch deals with the functional veterinary anatomy. So now sort functional embryology. ठीक है? So there are three branches of embryology: experimental embryology, functional embryology and morphological embryology. Right? Going to the next level. First, you must know the structure of ova, structure of sperm, then oogenesis, spermatogenesis. ये सारा आपने 12th में पढ़ा हुआ है. हम फिर से पढ़ेंगे वही सेम चीज. ठीक है ना? With focus to the domestic animal. ठीक है? तो आप लोगों ने पहले भी oogenesis पढ़ा हुआ है. आज फिर से हम oogenesis पढ़ेंगे. Then spermatogenesis पढ़ेंगे. Then after structure of sperm, structure of ova. Then after there is fertilization. Then morula, blastula, gastrulation. And then after there is formation of 3 germ layers, derivatives of 3 germ layers. And then after there is development of different system. ठीक है ना? तो ये सारा पूरा एक लाइन रहेगा एम्ब्रियोलॉजी में. जनरल एम्ब्रियोलॉजी आप लोगों ने पहले भी पढ़ी हुई है ना? आपने जनरल एम्ब्रियोलॉजी 12th में ही पढ़ा हुआ है. यहाँ जो थोड़ा थोड़ा आपको वेरिएशन मिलेगा, प्लस आपको जो है ऑर्गेनोजेनेसिस. अब वी मस्ट एम्फसाइजिंग ओवर हियर द ऑर्गेनोजेनेसिस मींस डेवलपमेंट ऑफ डिफरेंट systems. digestive system, urinary system, respiratory system, genital system, nervous system, ये सारे सिस्टम का डेवलपमेंट पढ़ना है इसमें, ठीक है ना, आफ्टर स्टडिंग द जनरल एम्ब्रियोलॉजी. So now I start with the oogenesis. ब्लैक बोर्ड सभी को दिख रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we start with oogenesis. You all know that oogenesis is started from embryonic life. सभी को पता होगा, है ना, कि oogenesis started from embryonic life. Then after it become in a dormant phase, and then when the puberty started, then again there is resumption of cycle. So how, when there is XX, then it decided that this genotype will have the phenotype of female, right? तो भाई वो तो genetic material पे depend करेगा whether male or female. So if after fertilization, if it is XX, you know, if it is female, then what happened? This is what yolk sac. This is yolk sac, and पढ़ेंगे हम मीजोडर्म के बारे में, पढ़ेंगे एक्सियल मीजोडर्म, पैराक्सियल मीजोडर्म, इंटरमीडिएट मीजोडर्म, ठीक है. हम अभी कहाँ पर फोकस कर रहे हैं? वी आर फोकसिंग इन एम्ब्रियोनिक लाइफ, ठीक है ना, इन एम्ब्रियोनिक लाइफ when there is development of female fetus, female embryo has taken place. So we see that there is mesonephrid duct होते हैं, intermediate mesoderm, ठीक है. So there is thickening over here for formation of gonad, that is, as it is female, then there must be development of ovary. So what happened? There is migration of primitive sex cell from dorsal wall of endoderm of yolk sac. ये क्या है yolk sac? This is yolk sac. And from the dorsal wall of yolk sac, there is migration of primitive sex cell along the dorsal mesentery, and they reach to the developing gonad. And they reach to the developing gonad. ठीक है ना? तो initially this is the intermediate mesoderm. Here this is the intermediate mesoderm, and there is thickening, जिसको बोलते हैं mesonephric ridge बोलते हैं, ठीक है ना? Here, so there is migration of primitive sex cell from dorsal wall of yolk sac. From dorsal wall of yolk sac, there is migration of primitive sex cell. If they reach to the cortex of developing gonad, then there is formation of ovary. If these primitive sex cell reach to the cortex, then there is development of ovary. And if they reach to the medulla, then there is development of testis will take place. ठीक है ना? So it depends on all the things depends on genotype, ठीक है ना? अगर genotype female है, then usually this thing will be happen, and if the genotype is of male, then usually this primitive sex cell will reach to the medulla. So when this primitive sex cell reach to the developing gonad, then यहाँ पर भी अभी हम डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ओवरी पढ़ेंगे, तब ये चीज हम फिर डिस्कस द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ओवरी. वी अगेन विल डिस्कस दिस थिंग Today I am discussing the oogenesis. At what level the oogenesis is started. So this migration will take place at what age? This take place at the age of 5th or 6th week of gestation. At the age of 5th or 6th week of gestation, there is migration of primitive sex cell. There is migration of primitive sex cell from dorsal wall of endoderm of yolk sac through dorsal mesentery, and they reach to the developing gonad. They reach to the developing gonad. If they reach to the cortex, there is formation of ovary will take place, and if they reach to the medulla, then there is formation of testis will take place. Now, what happened after this migration? At the age of 5th or 6th week of gestation, this migration has taken place. Now there is पढ़ेंगे बाद में internal epithelial cell masses पढ़ेंगे. So usually इस primitive sex cell का होना क्या है? This will form the oogonia. Basically, this primitive sex cell is forming the oogonia. So this oogonia will be formed by these primitive sex cell and it will be entrapped by sex cord cells. ठीक है ना? तो surrounding stromal cells होंगी, they surround the oogonia, ठीक है ना? And this oogonia get enlarged and form the primary oocyte. Oogonia enlarged and form the primary oocyte. तो कितना समझ में आया? इतना समझ में आया कि at what stage, मतलब before 5th or 6th week of gestation, the developing gonad has no differentiation. After 5th or 6th week of gestation, there is migration of primitive sex cell, and now the differentiation of gonad has started. If there is formation of testis or whether there is formation of ovary, right? So now oogenesis, we started or discussed with the oogenesis. I told you oogonia. Oogonia क्या है? It is वही primitive sex cell से जो migrate होके पहुंचा था कहाँ पर? Developing gonad and surrounded by layers of stromal cells, ठीक है ना, या sex cord cells, ठीक है. Now this oogonia enlarge and form the primary oocyte. Primary oocyte. अब दो चीजें अलग अलग चलेंगी. एक तो टर्मिनोलॉजी चलेगी किसके सेंस में? होल स्ट्रक्चर along with follicular cell, and we are discussing actually what? This cell. That is why we are saying this oogonia. And then we say primary oocyte. When it is enlarged, it is primary oocyte. This is primary oocyte. Primary oocyte. ठीक है? So primary oocyte, it is surrounded by single layer of flattened cell. It is surrounded by a single layer of flattened cells, and this whole structure is called primordial follicle. This whole structure is called primordial follicle. Follicle के टर्म में हम बोलेंगे, हम क्या बोलेंगे? primordial follicle बोलेंगे. और हम अगर oocyte के सेंस में बोलेंगे, with the sense of only the cell, then we say primary oocyte. समझ में आ रहा है बच्चों की नहीं आ रहा समझ में जो मैं बता रही हूँ?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
शिवांगी, शिवांगी लेफ्ट हो गई मीटिंग. मतलब समझ में आ रहा है ना? जहां समझ में नहीं आए तो पूछ लेना, ठीक है? तो primordial follicle will be termed as for the whole structure, means primary oocyte surrounded by flattened single layer of cells, follicular cells, flattened single layer of follicular cells, and this is termed as primordial follicle. ठीक है? अब आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा the number of oogonia, primary oocyte is fixed. इसके बाद जो है the number will not increase. जितने भी नंबर बन गए till 8th month of gestation, उतनी ही प्राइमरी oocyte बनेगी. Then after there is no multiplication from the स्पर्म ओवम मदर सेल। ठीक है, बात मेरी समझ में आ रही? There is multiplication and formation of number of oogonia. Primitive sex cell migrate हुआ था, primitive sex cell multiply and divide, ठीक है ना? And there is formation of oogonia. Oogonia जो है, the number is after 8 month of gestation, there will not be any multiplication or division. Only there will be the maturity. Maturation will take place and meiotic division will take place, right? So here now the number of oogonia or primary oocyte, क्योंकि oogonia ही mature होकर primary oocyte बनाएगा, that is fixed at the 8th month of gestation. At the 8th month of gestation, whatever the number of primary oocyte has formed, that is the last limit. And these are forms in lakhs, ठीक है ना? They are forms in lakhs, and many of follicles get atretic or degenerated, ठीक है ना? Degenerated, that is called atretic follicle, ठीक है ना? So after birth, many follicles get degenerated, and that is called atretic follicles, ठीक है? मतलब ये थे लाखों में, बसते हैं फिर हजारों में, ठीक है ना? They are in lakhs, and then after birth, many of follicles get degenerated and remain in thousands, right? अब primary oocyte, ये यहाँ पर क्या चल रहा था? Primary oocyte has started first meiotic division, but get arrested, ठीक है ना? Primary oocyte जैसे ही बना, now it started to divide. Now it started but get arrested at the diplotin stage of prophase first. So this get arrested at diplotin stage. At diplotin, this primary oocyte remain arrested. मतलब इसने ग्रो करना शुरू किया, इसने डिवाइड होना शुरू किया, but it get arrested at the diplotin stage of prophase first meiotic division, ठीक है? So this get arrested at this stage. Now all the primary oocytes remain arrested, and the whole structure will be called as primordial follicle, ठीक है ना? Primordial follicle. Then after the puberty achieved, then when the puberty achieved, now there is resumption of cycle, right? Now there is resumption of cycle, and now this primary oocyte resume to grow and divide, ठीक है ना? So primary oocyte will divide and form secondary oocyte and first polar body. So this will take in place at the time of puberty. At the time of puberty, now there is resumption of oogenesis, and the primary oocyte will form the secondary oocyte and first polar body. First meiotic division. This is what the first meiotic division has. First meiotic division has completed. Formation of secondary oocyte and formation of first polar body. Now अभी हम किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? अभी oocyte की बात कर रहे हैं, फॉलिकल की बात कर ही रहे हैं. प्राइमोडियल फॉलिकल के बाद हमने सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल, टर्सरी फॉलिकल, इसकी बात नहीं की है, ये हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे फॉलिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर. अभी हम केवल oocyte पे फोकस कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना? सो प्राइमरी oocyte form the secondary oocyte, and you all know that there is follicular wave. Follicular wave मतलब कुछ selected follicles हैं, primordial follicle, they will allow to develop, and the only one follicle or two follicle will allow to ovulate. ठीक है ना? This is all governed by FSH, and you all know inhibin, role of inhibin. ठीक है? So here we see that first meiotic division take place and there is formation of secondary oocyte. Now this secondary oocyte started to grow, and now it again arrested at metaphase second. It arrested at metaphase second. मेटाफेज सेकेंड क्यों? अब क्योंकि फर्स्ट मियोटिक के बाद अब सेकंड मियोटिक डिवीजन शुरू हो गया है, एंड नाउ दिस सेकेंडरी oocyte started to mature and has the preparation for division, second meiotic division, but get arrested at metaphase second. Right? Now अब यहाँ पर बात ध्यान देने वाली है कि अब इसके बाद जो ओवुलेशन होगा, ओवुलेशन जो होगा वो किस टाइप से होगा? Because you all know the ovum will form only after when the sperm enters to the ovum. ठीक है ना? Then only there is completion of second meiotic division. There is formation of ovum. ठीक है ना? You all know this. So here we see that ovulation किस स्टेज पे हो रहा है? ठीक है ना? So except which को छोड़ के, except which, the ovulation of secondary oocyte will take place. ठीक है ना? However, in which the ovulation of primary oocyte take place. ठीक है ना? Ovulation of primary oocyte. So here we see that second meiotic division take place when there is entry of sperm after ovulation. When secondary oocyte reach to the after ovulation, then secondary oocyte reach to the where oviduct. ठीक है ना? Fertilization कहाँ पर होता है? In oviduct. There is fertilization take place in the ampulla of या ampuloisthmus junction भी बोलते हैं of oviduct, and there when the sperm enters, then there is resumption of second meiotic division, and then there is formation of ovum and second polar body. So now this ovum will be termed as zygote when the fertilization has completed. When fertilization will completed, then this ovum will termed as zygote. But after penetration of sperm, when there is penetration of sperm to the wall of secondary oocyte, then there is resumption of second meiotic division, and there is formation of ovum and second polar body. And you all know the secondary oocyte has double X chromosome. However, this ovum has single. This is haploid, this is diploid structure. You all know. इसीलिए first meiotic division is called mitotic division and second meiotic division is called reductional division. Second meiotic division is called reduction. Am I right? गलत तो नहीं है?
First meiotic division is reduction division.
कुछ गड़बड़ हो गया है क्या? हाँ, वो गड़बड़ हो गया है. Secondary oocyte, हाँ, secondary oocyte actually. First meiotic division, reductional division. Sorry बच्चों, first meiotic division is reductional division. It is actually the mitotic division. Yes. Second meiotic division is mitotic. First meiotic division is reductional division. So here there is half of chromosome takes place during first meiotic division. ठीक है? So In case of cow, the ovulation takes place at what time? फिजियोलॉजी में पढ़ा होगा, ईस्टस पढ़ा होगा, पढ़ा है फिजियोलॉजी में। शिवम कुछ बोल रहे हो? क्या 12 आवर्स? एक तो आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है। रुक जाओ, मैं थोड़ा आवाज के लिए कुछ करती हूँ। 1 मिनट है ना, आवाज नहीं आ रही है आप लोग की। 1 मिनट रुकिए। हाँ, अब आ रही है आवाज। बोलो। हाँ शिवम, बता रहे थे आप। हाँ, yes, 12 hour 24 hours after onset of estrus, 12 to 24 hour after onset of estrus। ठीक है। तो आप लोगों ने जैसे ये देखा कि इधर ओवुलेशन ऑफ सेकेंडरी oocyte has take place, ठीक है ना। So there is variation among species. For example, in case of bitch, we say that Raphian follicle contain the primary oocyte, ठीक है ना। एंड ये थोड़ा सा स्ट्रक्चर जो हम ओवरी का पढ़ेंगे, थोड़ा सा ओवरी का स्ट्रक्चर भी मैं आप लोग को बताती हूँ यहाँ से कि प्राइमरी फॉलिकल, प्राइमोडियल फॉलिकल, secondary ovarian follicle and tertiary ovarian follicle, how they differ and how species wise you have to remember the things. And primary follicle, अगर हमने इन दो टर्म को यूज किया, I say primordial follicle, that means the resting follicle. If I say the primary follicle, that means it is growing, ठीक है ना। मतलब क्या हुआ कि हम फॉलिकल के सेंस में बात कर रहे हैं, अभी हमने oocyte के सेंस में बात किया था, अब हम करेंगे किसके सेंस में बात? फॉलिकल के सेंस में। If we say in the sense of follicle, then when the single layer of flattened epithelial follicular cells is present around the oocyte, then it is प्राइमोडियल फॉलिकल। प्राइमोडियल का मतलब होता है रेस्टिंग, प्राइमोडियल मतलब रेस्टिंग फॉलिकल, मीन्स आफ्टर बर्थ whatever the we say the primary oocyte, that primary oocyte is will be termed as primordial follicle, ठीक है ना। मतलब प्राइमरी oocyte तो है और इसके चारों तरफ जो सिंगल लेयर है that is primordial follicle, ठीक। अब प्राइमोडियल फॉलिकल के बाद क्या होगा? सेकंड प्राइमरी फॉलिकल। नेक्स्ट टर्म इज द प्राइमरी फॉलिकल। तो प्राइमरी फॉलिकल बनना कब शुरू होगा? तो प्राइमरी फॉलिकल विल बी फॉर्म एट द एज ऑफ प्यूबर्टी, मींस देयर इज स्टार्टिंग ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ प्राइमोडियल फॉलिकल एट द एज ऑफ प्यूबर्टी। बात समझ में आ रही मेरी? मींस till puberty there is no formation of primary oocyte, primary oocyte नहीं, primary follicle. Primary follicle is a growing follicle, it is the active follicle, and primordial follicle is the resting follicle. So when puberty has achieved, then there is starting of growing of follicle, and now this resting follicle, primordial follicle, is termed as primary follicle. And what is the difference between two? That here the single layer of flat epithelium is present, but in primary follicle single layer of cuboidal. Single layer of cuboidal cells present around this primary oocyte. Now it is primary follicle which is growing and active. This primary follicle will now start growing and growing. प्राइमरी फॉलिकल के बाद क्या बनेगा? सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल बनेगा. प्राइमरी फॉलिकल ग्रो एंड फॉर्म स्ट्रेटिफाइड स्ट्रक्चर, मींस नाउ देयर इज मल्टीपल लेयर ऑफ फॉलिकल ओवर हियर. यू ऑल नो, ठीक है ना, जिसको हम स्ट्रेटम ग्रेनुलोसम बोलने लगते हैं, है ना, स्ट्रेटम ग्रेनुलोसम बोलते हैं. So there is formation of these multiple layer of this follicles, and now this is called as growing secondary follicle. The primary follicle has only single layer of cuboidal cells, right? Primordial follicle is resting follicle and has flattened single layer of follicular cells. This has the cuboidal layer of follicular cells. So this is the difference between primordial and primary. Primary follicle is an active and growing follicle. Primordial follicle is a resting follicle. Then primary follicle, now there is multiplication of this layer and there is formation of secondary follicle. So secondary follicle कई सारी stages में मिलेगा. Early secondary follicle, late secondary follicle, ठीक है ना? Pre-antral जिसको बोलते हैं, because there is formation of antrum or cavity. तो ये क्या है? This is what? Secondary, growing secondary follicle. Growing secondary follicle. So whether the secondary follicle contains the primary oocyte or secondary oocyte, anyone can tell me? Secondary oocyte will have the primary oocyte or secondary oocyte.
Ma'am, primary oocyte.
Yes, this growing secondary follicle has primary oocyte in it. Now there is formation of different layers of follicle. There is formation of different layers. कैसे? अभी सारी लेयर्स का फॉर्मेशन होना है. जोना पेलिसिडा, कोरोना रेडिएटा, there will be the formation of antrum, right? So growing follicle, this growing follicle, now there is deposition of layer of glycoprotein layer around this lemma of oocyte. There is deposition of a layer around this oocyte. This glycoprotein layer is zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is glycoprotein in nature, right? It is glycoprotein in nature and deposited around the oocyte with the interaction of ulema, जिसको हम Vitelline membrane भी बोलते हैं, ठीक है ना? Vitelline membrane और ulema of oocyte and the immediate layer around the ulema, that is later on we termed as it is the corona radiata. So by the interaction of corona radiata and ulema, there is formation of a glycoprotein layer that is called zona pellucida. Zona pellucida is a glycoprotein in nature and it is the immediate layer around the oocyte. So this is zona pellucida. Then after there is corona radiata. Corona radiata. Then after there is starting of secretion of fluid by the cells of this Graafian follicle. ठीक है ना? So we say that here is formation, starting of formation of antrum. ठीक है ना? There is formation of starting of antrum, antral cavity. ठीक है? So now this starting of formation of antrum. Antrum is a cavity. ठीक है? And धीरे धीरे जो है antrum will become enlarged. Right? So now there is formation of tertiary ovarian follicle. And tertiary ovarian follicle में क्या होगा? ऊपर बना रही हूँ मैं tertiary ovarian follicle. Tertiary ovarian follicle is now secondary oocyte inside the layer. There is zona pellucida around to it, then corona radiata around to it. Corona radiata. Here there is cumulus layer, cumulus oophorus. This is called granulosa cells. Around to it is cumulus. This is called cumulus oophorus. ठीक है ना? And it is connected to the here. ठीक. And then after there is मेरी height भी पूछ रही हूँ. Antrum and कुछ जगह फिर से बनाना पड़ेगा. Antrum और antrum के बाद ये antrum. This is the antrum. Here there is again layer of granulosa, and after granulosa there is theca interna, and then after theca externa. So here is granulosa layer again. यहाँ पर granulosa layer होगी. Innermost layer is theca interna, theca interna. And out here it is theca externa. Theca externa और theca interna में क्या अंतर है? Theca interna and theca externa. Inner is vascular, ठीक है? Inner is vascular layer, ठीक है? So बहुत गंदा डायग्राम बना है ऊपर से. अब मेरी हाइट वहां तक पहुंच ही रही है. You all know that Graafian follicle, structure of Graafian follicle. ठीक है, स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ग्राफियन फॉलिकल आप सभी को पता है. ये जो इमीडिएट लेयर होगी दैट इज द कोरोना रेडिएटा. कोरोना रेडिएटा. देन आफ्टर दिस क्लम्प ऑफ सेल्स, दिस सेल्स अराउंड, ठीक है ना, दिस फॉलिकुलर सेल्स अराउंड टू इट इज कॉल्ड क्यूमुलस. Cumulus oophorus. Cumulus oophorus. This is around to it. It is called cumulus oophorus. Then this is the antrum. Then after again there is layer of granulosa cells. ठीक है? Theca interna and theca externa. So ultimately what I want to say that secondary oocyte जो हमने अभी oogenesis में पढ़ा था, that is trapped inside the Graafian follicle. That is trapped inside the Graafian follicle. And then after it, you know that ovulation take place. Ovulation अब हम पढ़ेंगे, उसका process भी पढ़ेंगे later on. Ovulation, how the ovulation take place, we will discuss later on. So this after ovulation, this secondary oocyte released from Graafian follicle from the surface of ovary and captured by the oviduct, reaching to the ampulo-isthmus junction, and there is fertilization will take place. ठीक है? Now I want to ask you that अभी ग्रॉस में ओवरी पढ़ा है ना, ग्रॉस. आप लोगों ने ओवुलेशन फोसा पढ़ा है? ओवुलेशन फोसा?
Yes, ma'am. In case of Mayer.
In case of Mayer, है ना? In case of Mayer, you learn about the ovulation fossa because the position of cortex and medulla is reverse in case of Mayer, है ना? So that is in case of Mayer, the site of ovulation or area of ovulation is fixed. मतलब सारे के सारे ओवुलेशन उसी सरफेस से होनी है. However, in these species, जैसे हम काऊ में देखेंगे, तो किसी भी सरफेस से ओवुलेशन हो सकता है, मतलब ओवरी का जो सरफेस एपिथेलियम है दैट इज फेसिंग टुवर्ड्स infundibulum of oviduct, so any part of that ovulation may take place, right? Or this Graafian follicle actually burst out when the follicle gets matured. When the follicle get matured, it is or at the level of surface of ovary. ठीक है ना, डेवलपमेंट कहाँ पर हो रहा है, कॉर्टेक्स में हो रहा है ना, डेवलपमेंट इज टेकिंग प्लेस इन द कॉर्टेक्स. So this Graafian follicle is lies at the level of surface. इसीलिए जब हम कभी भी palpate करते हैं ovary, so palpation of this carpus luteum and the palpation of this growing follicle can be done. ठीक है ना. तो Graafian follicle जो है ये जो है काफी सरफेस के लेवल पे होगा. Then after there is ovulation will take place, and next stage you all know, ठीक है ना, corpus hemorrhagicum, then corpus albicans, then there is formation of corpus luteum. ठीक है. और बहुत सारे आपने हार्मोन्स पढ़े होंगे, LH पढ़ा होगा, FSH पढ़ा होगा. ठीक है. So where the FSH has to act, कहाँ पर FSH एक्ट करेगा?
मैम ओवरी पे फॉलिकल ग्रोथ के लिए.
हाँ, ग्रोथ के लिए बिल्कुल. सो वेदर FSH एक्ट ऑन ग्रेनुलोसा सेल और थीका सेल?
Granulosa cells.
Yes, granulosa cell. FSH acts on granulosa cell. Granulosa cell, what they contain for the conversion of testosterone to estrogen? बताओ भाई, कैसे एस्ट्रोजन का सिंथेसिस कैसे होगा यहाँ पर? अभी पढ़ा है फिजियोलॉजी में, हुआ नहीं हुआ कि हो गया है? टू सेल टू गोनेडोट्रोपिन हाइपोथेसिस पढ़ी कि नहीं? बताओ. LH, action of LH, action of FSH. There are different cell in ovarian follicle where the LH and FSH act. पढ़ा है? टू सेल टू गोनेडोट्रोपिन हाइपोथेसिस. पिट्यूटरी हो गया कि नहीं? पिट्यूटरी ग्लैंड हुआ?
हो गया मैम.
LH FSH पढ़ा होगा ना पिट्यूटरी में?
यस मैम.
फिर इसका एक्शन भी पढ़ा होगा, where LH is act where FSH will act.
यस मैम.
है ना. LH कहाँ एक्ट करेगा? थीका इंटरना, थीका एक्सटर्ना और ग्रेनुलोसा कहाँ पे एक्ट करेगा LH? इन ग्रोइंग फॉलिकल की बात कर रहे हैं, बिफोर ओवुलेशन. भूल गए लगता है आप लोग, है ना. ये देखिए, ये फिर से थोड़ा सा बनाती हूँ मैं डायग्राम. आप लोगों ने साथ साथ कुछ बनाते हो डायग्राम वगैरह कि नहीं? हम यहाँ ड्राइंग बना रहे हैं, कुछ लिखते हो रजिस्टर में, नोट करते हो कि नहीं नोट करते हो? सुनते बस हो?
नोट करते हैं, लेकिन आज कुछ क्लियरिटी नहीं है, मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा है.
आज क्लियरिटी नहीं है?
नहीं मैम, धुंधला धुंधला दिख रहा है.
ठीक है. हम पढ़ रहे थे टू सेल टू गोनेडोट्रोपिन हाइपोथेसिस. आप लोगों ने भी पढ़ा होगा. जैसे LH है ना, दिस इज व्हाट granulosa cells. Granulosa cells present around, this is here, this is here is theca interna, oocyte over here, humulus uforus. ठीक है. Here is granulosa cells. This is here is theca interna. So LH basically act on theca interna, and there is release of testosterone. There is release of testosterone from theca interna cells, and it leads to the layer of stratum granulosum, where the aromatase enzyme is present. Aromatase enzyme is present in the cells of stratum granulosum, and which act with the influence of FSH. With the influence of FSH, the cells of stratum granulosum express aromatase enzyme. This aromatase converts testosterone to estrogen. By the aromatase enzyme, which is present in cells of stratum granulosum, which express by the presence of FSH. So LH act on theca interna, where there is release of testosterone, and FSH act on cells of stratum granulosum, which express the aromatase enzyme, which convert the testosterone to estrogen. Right? समझ में आया? Tropin hypothesis physiology में, because the LH act on different cells and FSH act on different cell. So that is why it is also called as two-cell two-gonadotropin hypothesis. तो अभी तो बहुत सारा इसमें जानना है और बहुत सारा इसमें भी करना है. पूजनेसिस मैंने आज आप लोग को पढ़ाया है, आप लोग वैसे पढ़े हुए हो चीजें, तो उसको थोड़ा सा और देख लेना, ठीक है. सो अगर आप लोगों की जो भी और भी क्वेरी है, अभी इस वीक तो भी ऑनलाइन क्लास चली रहा है, अगले वीक से जैसे जैसे आते जाएंगे बच्चे, यहाँ से प्रैक्टिकल स्टार्ट करना शुरू करेंगे, प्रैक्टिकल क्लासेस. और जो भी खैर आप लोगों की गाइडलाइंस हैं वो आप लोगों को दे दी जाएंगी. एनी क्वेरी? किसी को कुछ पूछना है? हाँ बोलो शिवा. हाँ, हिस्टोलॉजी के लिए डेलमन बुक, और ये एम्ब्रियोलॉजी के लिए भी आर.के. घोष की ही बुक है, वो आप लोगों के लेवल के लिए पर्याप्त है, तो वो इसमें पढ़ सकते हो. एम्ब्रियोलॉजी के लिए आर.के. घोष, ठीक है. Any question? If there is no question, now I end my class. And then after, remaining portion of blood supply of hind leg will be covered. Right? Okay.